Right, today I thought I would do a little something different. So this is my office and I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour. Not a massive place by any means, but what we've got here is somewhere I can produce content, somewhere I can do podcasts, somewhere I can obviously work from. And also it's just a great space for me to be able to utilize, get out the weather. Because obviously I used to work in my gym downstairs. Now I haven't actually got the key with me, so I can't go down there and show you around in my gym. But just wanted to give you a little bit of a brief run through. Now, obviously, first of all, I'm going to start off with my whiteboard on the wall. Now, I use that purely because obviously it's always good to have like a vision of where you're going, what you're doing and what you're working on. If I need to brain dump anything that I know is super important for me, if I put it on there, I look at it when I sit at my desk just here. So I can obviously see what I'm doing and what I'm getting up to. Then I have my desk here. Now, I haven't actually tidied this place up because I just wanted to make it real, right? There's a whole corner of stuff over there that's kind of my dumpings around, because I move this office around so much with like setting up lighting and obviously doing different camera setups and so on. I do just typically move things out of the way when I need to film stuff, and as with any busy office space, you just kind of keep moving. So with my desk, these panels on the wall, which everyone always asks me about, are literally just foam panels. I've got some of them here. If you need them, I can put a description in the thing below, but they are literally just these foam panels. And what they do is, if I put this behind the camera as I'm talking, you can hear, obviously, it will make the sound clearer because obviously there's less echo to my voice. So obviously the more I'm in here, and you should hopefully hear my speakers, my headphones through this, you'll hear that the echo of my voice disappears compared to talking out here to in here. So obviously it gives it a slight bit of a deeper sound. Now, from a performance standpoint, they're not doing anything being sat behind me. However, when I put my camera over here and have it set up, looks pretty cool. I quite like it. I then have, so on my desk, I actually have, and I'm going to go over here, sit down on my chair. So I have a self-rising desk. So I have a little dial here, and I can press that, and as you see, the desk rises up, or put my thumb on it and it goes down. I have a whole load of stuff on my desk, and I'm going to be honest with you, like I said, I literally just decided I'm going to film this now and make it a little bit raw. On here, I have a whole hub so I can collect loads of different things. Obviously, I still have a lot of my photography stuff that I have to connect to this. Then I have my podcast set up. So when I'm filming my podcast, I can cut between the cameras on here, and the cameras aren't turned on at the moment, so you're not going to see them. That's my monitor for obviously looking at all of that stuff, and then I can turn it over, and that will also be an extension of my laptop. So obviously you can see my laptop screen there. I find it super useful having a second screen. If you haven't got one, I'd recommend getting one. When you are working, and if I really want to like pull this right over here, obviously I can set myself up so that my laptop and everything's in one shot, and it makes it really easy to kind of go between the two things, especially if you're trying to like reference things, go between one thing or the other. So really super useful with that side of things. Have a couple of microphones. Obviously that's the one that I use for when I'm doing like Zoom and stuff, and then I have my podcast microphone here, and that is the audio desk for the podcast setup. So obviously when I have a proper podcast in here, obviously the microphones will get plugged in around the room, and then obviously we do whatever we do with it. You would have seen this grey wall behind me as well in some of my content. Now, I got a stain on it the other day and it kind of looks like a bit of a cock, but at the same time, that's just a bit of a stain on the wall. But obviously I've used this grey wall because I really like the texture off of it, and using obviously greys and then using the bright light, it makes your skin look more tanned. So obviously I look then browner, which obviously looks great. The only other thing, I actually quite like having candles on my desk, not heavily like feminine with this type of stuff, but actually having a nice smelling office and, so on. One of my favourite ones, mahogany teakwood from Bath and Body Works. It kind of smells like a bit of a gentleman's club, but without it being too seedy, like it actually smells quite nice. So that's pretty much my desk set up. Obviously the Wi-Fi over in the back. I then have this light on a stand purely because if I'm then changing things around, I literally just wheel this thing around, and it's obviously got the light inside of there, and I can just move it around to wherever I want. Also, when I'm doing the podcast, I can attach cameras to it as well. This little rig here that's all attached onto here, I can just put it straight onto the stand so that then everything moves around in one kind of little like go. Then I have pretty much my caffeine station. So down the bottom, you can see all the coffee, kettle, coffee machine, any books that I've got. I've also got a load of books over this side as well. But that's the kind of corner that I shove all of like coffee making. Got a little printer down there that gets tucked away. Have also got like a speaker on here as well, which is pretty loud, which I don't tend to turn on too much, just purely because otherwise it's going to rattle everything else. Have a couple of these lights in here as well. These are little, I've got newer lights. basically you can obviously take these out and put batteries in them, or you can obviously use them powered in here, and they're pretty good because if you want to create some like background light onto things, let me just turn this on. You can see here I can put that onto the back of things, and if I come and stand over here, I then get like a little bit of a highlight on my face. So if I was doing some content like this isn't the best angle, but you get what I mean. Obviously it then gives me a bit of a highlight, so it just makes my content look a little bit more interesting. Once again, some more camera stuff, another microphone, some more books, and then I've got the chairs that I use for the podcast. Like I said, I've just moved my office around massively in here to just because I've been shooting content all week, and there's even a bit of leftover food that I had, some steak and eggs this morning for breakfast. So this is my office. Now, the reason why I wanted to share this is because I get quite a lot of people asking me about it, and also at the same time, the way that this is set up now, I wouldn't recommend to everyone getting a podcast set up, especially it's cost me like £8 to have all of the cameras and everything else. What I'm saying here with this is that actually having this all set up on my desk and being able to film content is that I can literally just jump on and create content whenever I want. If I wanted to do a podcast setup, I can just set it up straight away. If I want to do something a bit more moody, I can set it up on the grey wall. If I want to shoot from my desk and obviously make it look more professional and more like desk related, I can sit here at the desk. So from my side of things, obviously being a content creator, and that was obviously like what I got my career built up into, I just needed access to things quickly. You know, I can plug the hard drives in to start shooting content straight away. And that's typically one of the biggest bottlenecks that I think a lot of people have. I'm going to put this down so you can talk properly from here. One of the biggest bottlenecks that people have when it comes to making content is they just have too many restrictions. I've got my headphones in and just talking into the camera here. You don't need a lot. My podcast cameras are about £1,000 roughly, maybe just a bit under. I bought some lenses on it so they look a bit nicer and they're not drastically expensive either. But the whole point of those is that then I've got something that's really convenient for me to then go and shoot content with. If I'm in the gym, I can just put the camera on the floor and just shoot some content and it looks the part. They're only small, they're compact. I'll take you up and show you them. They are the little Sony A6400s. And then I've got a 50mm lens on this, which, if you want to know about photography, our eyes roughly see 56mm, I think it is, like in a vision. So then all the content I shoot looks more like how our eyes see it, so then it's more natural to everyone to see. So I've got 3 of those cameras. One of them I actually left at one of the photo shoots, so I need to go and pick that up. But those cameras are set up and I've got them there so then I can shoot content on the fly. I can also take these out and obviously if I'm in town or whatever, I can just plug a microphone into it and I can shoot content there and then, which I've done multiple times. And then for my podcast setup with the software that I've got here, I can plug my laptop in, I can plug my phone in, I can plug my iPad in. So I can connect loads of different things and make different bits of content. Content is so much easier when you just give yourself the solutions and just put it all in front of you. You don't need to go overly complicated. Actually, sometimes more natural content, like I'm just using the window lights in here, none of the lights are on. This is more natural. It's just easy to make content. It's still valuable. At the same time, if you want to make it a bit more interesting, good bit of audio, make it sound really clear and crisp, make it sound, you know, the clearer that sounds, it'll feel like they're talking in your ears, which obviously then feels like you're more present. Lighting just makes things look more edgy. If I literally just jump up, and I'm going to jump out of shot quickly and turn this light on and put it around towards me, I'll probably look super bright when I sit down onto this. However, and if I adjust the lighting a little bit, I now look more edgy, more unique compared to obviously having it on before. I'm just going to leave this set up now. But you can see by just having a few of these lights, and obviously if I plug this in and was recording it straight into here, it looks more interesting. It then allows me to just create things with speed and not have to overthink it. And this is what a lot of people get stuck on, is like, oh, I need all of this stuff. Keep it super simple. If you can afford to put some of this stuff in your office, phenomenal. You don't need the desk and all of this lot. This microphone here, obviously had this before I had any of the podcast set up. This literally plugs straight into the computer, so I can use it for Zoom, I can use it for doing webinars, any bits and pieces like that. And then if I just want to record a straight podcast, I can go straight into that. The cameras, like I said, you only need one. You could just put it on the desk and obviously have it pointing at you when you're talking on whatever. Obviously, I've just got more of it because I had the content studio here. But the reason why I'm trying to show you around with this is this office is probably like 3 meters squared. It's like 9 meters squared, whatever the term is, right? Now, I've confused myself now. So yeah, like I said, the office isn't enormous, right? But I've been able to pack quite a lot of stuff in here, and when I tidy it up and it all looks the part, really easy to use. Okay, I can do the podcast. I can sit down and read a book if I want. I've got like the coffee machines over there, my desk where I can stand up, sit down. Obviously, I've got the monitors attached into it. The more convenient you can make your environment to work for you, the easier and better you're going to perform. Because if there's less friction and there's more simplicity and ease to your performance, it's going to make things far better. You do not have to have the best of everything. I bought this monitor probably when 4K monitors came out, probably like 7-8 years ago. So, okay, it cost me £1,000 at the time. Over 7-8 years, it's cost me £120 a year, £10 a month to have a monitor like that. And it's lasted me for ages, right? The cameras, they'll go on for a lifetime, like that, they'll be fine, right? So what I'm trying to say to you here is, if you can set things up around you and make your process super simple and easy, you're going to not only find making content easier, you're going to look better with it, but you're also going to take the friction away, which saves you valuable minutes, so that then you can create more content, you can deliver more value, and give more free resources to people. So I thought I'd just give you a bit of an office tour, show you what I've got here. Like I said, it's a bit of a mess, but actually this is kind of what happens when you're charging around and trying to create a thing. Yes, I could get it all tidied up and make it look immaculate, but I wanted to make this raw and real about what I have and how I set things up. If you like that and you want any information about what cameras, microphones, all of that type of stuff, please just drop me a comment below and I'll make sure I get back to you. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe for more, because obviously we can keep sharing my story and me growing my business coaching, personal development and personal brand business up to £1 million. I hope you like this. I look forward to sharing with you next video more about how I want to help you and how you can help yourself by removing limiting beliefs and actually getting more done.